support. Chantix is
Don't think sorry's easily said. Don't try turning tables instead. You've taken lots of chances before, but I'm not gonna give any more. Don't ask me, that's how it goes, 'cause part of me knows what you're thinking. Don't say words you're gonna regret. Don't let fire rush to your head. I've heard the accusation before, and I ain't gonna take any more. Believe me, the sun in your eyes made some of the lies worth believing. I am the eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind. I am the maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind, and I don't need to see any more to know that I can read your mind. 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 Don't leave false illusions behind. Don't cry, I ain't changing my mind. So find another fool like before, 'cause I ain't gonna live anymore believing some of the lies, while all of the signs are deceiving. I am the eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind. I am the maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind, and I don't need to see any more to know that I can read your mind. 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 I am the eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind. I am the maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind, and I don't need to see any more to know that I can read your mind. 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 I can read your mind.
It's tough to quit smoking cold turkey, so Chantix can help you quit slow turkey, along with support.
Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer is only as directed. See so it tells you. Only terms may apply. No cares. Batteries not included. Void where prohibited. Void where prohibited. Void where prohibited. Void where prohibited. I did my best to know, tried my best to notice when the call came down the line. Up to the platform of surrender, I was broad but I was kind. And sometimes I get nervous when I see an open door. Close your eyes, clear your throat, clear your heart, cut the cord. Are we human? Or are we dancer? My sign is vital. My hands are cold. And I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human? Or are we dancer? Pay my respects to grace and virtue. Send my condolences to good. Give my regards to soul and romance. They always did the best they could. And so long to devotion. You taught me everything I know. Wave goodbye, wish me well. You gotta let me go. Are we human? Or are we dancer? My sign is vital. My hands are cold. And I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human? Or are we dancer? Will your systems be alright when you dream of home tonight? There is no message we're receiving. Let me know, is your heart still beating? Are we human? Or are we dancer? My sign is vital. My hands are cold. And I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human? You gotta let me know. Are we human? Or are we dancer? My sign is vital. My hands are cold. And I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human? Or are we dancer? Or are we human? Or are we dancer? Are we human? Or are we dancer? Chapter 18 of The White Book by Ramtha. Chapter 18 is called The Closed Mind. I am the eye in the sky, looking at you, I can read your mind. The eye. EYE and the letter I, number 9 in the alphabet, the day's eye of the daisy. The eye of the pineal gland in the midbrain, the green pine tree, pine cone gland. The third eye, the one eye, the single eye, Matthew 6:22. Jesus says when your eye is single, your body is filled with light. The revolution will not be televised, but the revolution will put you in the driver's seat. Though your brain was designed to receive every frequency of thought in the mind of God. Hold on a second, please. Though your brain was designed to receive every frequency of thought in the mind of God, in the entirety of knowingness, it will be activated to receive only those frequencies you allow yourself to receive. And of all the wonderful thoughts bombarding the God that holds you together, the only knowingness that most allow is of the lower frequency thoughts of social consciousness, which are very limited, very cloistered, as you have well experienced. And when you live according to social consciousness and reason only with the frequencies that predominate in its limited thinking, the only parts of your brain that are activated are the upper left and right levels of the cerebrum and portions of the lower cerebellum, which sits upon your spinal column. The majority of your brain remains dormant. It does nothing. That is because any thought that does not fit in with the limited thinking of your family, peers, society, or dogma, you will refute. You will turn it away, meaning you will allow yourself to contemplate and reason only with those thoughts which will be accepted by others. If you're worried about other people's opinions of you, those other people control you. You have a term called closed-minded. Well, that is a literal description. When you refuse to venture in thought beyond the bounds of social consciousness, portions of your brain are literally closed to the higher frequencies of thought. That is because your pituitary gland has been activated to open its mouth only a little way. Thus it has activated into use only those parts of the brain that receive the lower frequencies of social consciousness. The only reason someone is a genius and knows things you do not is because he has opened his mind to contemplate the what-ifs. The outrageous thoughts, the thoughts of brilliance that go beyond the limited thinking of man. He has allowed himself to entertain and reason with these thoughts, whereas you have rejected them. You cannot receive them because you have yet to activate those portions of your brain that will enable you to reason with them. So what happens to the great thoughts of unlimited understanding that continually bombard your light structure? They bounce off your receiver unit and are sent back out through the spirit of your being, back into the river of thought. To be closed-minded is to be closed to the possibility of anything existing outside the values that can be experienced through the senses of your body. Yet in the realm called God, nothing is impossible. If any one thing can be conceived or pondered, it exists. For whatever is dreamed or imagined is already within the realm of existence. That is how all of creation came into being. Any time you tell someone that something is only your imagination, you are programming them into stupidity and limited creativity. And that is indeed what happens to the children on this plane. All of you. I tell you, whatever is allowed to be thought of is. And whatever you allow yourself to think, you will experience. For your electromagnetic field will draw it to you. You know, the atrocity of being closed-minded is that it keeps you from knowing joy. It keeps you enslaved to the illusions of man. It keeps you from knowing the glory of yourself and God. As long as you have a cloistered mind and live and think according to social consciousness, you will never venture into the unknown or contemplate the possibility of greater realities for fear that it will mean change. And certainly it will, because there will be more to see, to understand, and to be a part of than there was before in a tidy world that lives and dies. As long as you accept only those limited thoughts that have been bred into you, you will never activate greater portions of your brain to receive and experience any thought other than what you have faced every day of your existence. Each time you accept a thought that is greater than what you have accepted as your standard, that thought activates yet another part of your brain into powerful use. Each time you do that, the greater thought will offer itself as a carrier to expand your reasoning from that point. That will activate other portions of your brain for more thought, for more receiving, for more knowing. When you desire to experience superconsciousness, unlimited thinking, your pituitary begins to open and bloom like a magnificent flower. The more it opens, the greater the hormone flow, and the more the dormant parts of your brain are activated to receive the higher frequencies of thought. You know, it is very simple to be a genius. All you have to do is think for yourself. The brain has been a great mystery that has perplexed many. They take it out to look at it, and they can't find anything in it save its fluids, which are water. Water is a conductor of electrical current. The denser the water, the greater the amplification of the electrical current put through it. In the dormant portions of your brain, the fluid is denser for the purpose of amplifying the higher thought frequencies into greater electrical currents and sending them throughout the body at a greater rate of speed. So when you allow more of your thoughts to be housed in the dormant parts, your brain is activated to become quicker and more profound in its responses. You can do anything with your body once the totality of your brain is in use. Through your soul, which is recording and holding steadfast the emotion of every thought you receive, your brain and its impulses to your body can create your body to be however your thoughts determine it to be. Do you know that if your brain were used to its full capacity, you could change your body into a wisp of light in a moment and your body would live forever? Do you know that your brain has the ability to grow a new limb if you are missing one? Fully operational, your brain has the ability to completely heal your body in a splendid moment, or to change it physically into any ideal you give it. The whole of your brain capacity is immense. Yet you, in your limited thinking, have been able to use only 1/3 of it. What do you think the rest of it is for? To fill up an empty hole? Your body is maintained according to your brain and your collective thinking. For every thought you allow to enter your brain electrifies and feeds every cell of your body. Yet from the time you were a child and could reason in social consciousness, you accepted the programming that you must grow up, become old, and then die. So because you accepted that thought, you began to degrade the life force within your body, because the thought of olderness sends a slow or low frequency electrical spark to each cellular structure. The slower the rate of speed, the greater the loss of agility within the body, for the body is lessened in its ability to rejuvenate and restore itself. Thus age is permitted to occur, and ultimately the death of the body. Yet, if you allowed yourself to continuously receive higher thought frequencies, You would send faster and more high-powered electrical currents throughout your body, and it would stay forever in the moment, thus never advancing in age or dying. But everyone here knows it will age and die, so slowly the current becomes less and less and less. Those portions of your brain that have not been activated at the present have the ability, simply through knowing, to reconstruct any damaged part of your body, wherever it is. The moment you know your body can heal itself, that thought sends a greater spark through the central nervous system to where the damaged part is, which will cause the DNA factor within each cell to clone and reconstruct the cell perfectly. Perfectly. You think that is miraculous? That is the way it should be and is. You think that the only way your body can be healed is through physicians and medicines? And they work, for you believe that they do. Placebo. You have also been told and believe that you cannot do it on your own. Thus you cannot, for that knowingness is present. Yet there are entities who have sought out healers, knowing that what they would hear would be in an absolute truth, and by knowing it, it became an absolute truth within the embodiment. Thus they were healed in a moment. That is what knowingness does, and it can change your body to however you want it to be. You have the capacity to be unlimited, even in your bodily movement, for it was designed to be that way. Every moment of your existence, whether you are asleep or awake, whether you are conscious or unconscious, you are continuously receiving thought from the mind of God, and whatever thought frequencies you allow to come through this wonderful God that holds you together, you will experience for the prize and the only reality of life called emotion. So you who are feeling unhappy, dull, morose, fearful, bitter, angry, jealous, hurried, unloved, unwanted, what thought frequencies are you allowing yourself to feel? Social consciousness. Where is joy, you ask? Where is love? Where is forever? Where is God? Only a thought away. Only a thought away. Why don't you know all of these wonderful thoughts that pass through your spirit every moment? You haven't wanted to know them. You have chosen to live in the shadow of social consciousness, to dress and act and think like the herd. You have chosen to fit in, to be accepted, so that you could survive. You didn't want to know, because to entertain the thoughts that you are a sovereign, that you are God, that you are forever, that you are all-knowing, would mean going against the grain of your family, your friends, your religion, and your country. So you gave away your power. So you gave up your sovereignty. You forgot your identity. You closed down your brain. To teach you how to open it back up is the reason I am here. What is this religious figure called God, that infinite mystery that man has desperately searched to find for eons? It is thought and its ability to receive itself, and by receiving itself, to become and expand itself. That is all God is. The totality of thought, the eminence of life. And right within your own being, you have the power to become God completely, completely. For if the full spectrum of your brain were in use, you would be this moment to the ends of forever. You would know all that is known. You would be the hue of the sun, the depths of the sea, the power of the wind, and the star upon the horizon. What keeps you from knowing and becoming the totality of God? Altered ego. Because altered ego cuts God off by refusing to accept all the thought frequencies that God is, so it can live safe and secure out of harm's way. That is why the altered ego is indeed what is termed the Antichrist, because it denies that you are the Son of God. It does not allow you to accept the thought and to realize that you and the Father are one and the same, that you are the divine and immortal principle that has the power to create forever and the power to create death. The Antichrist is the altered ego, and its kingdom is social consciousness. It is that which does not allow unlimited thought. And its dogma is fear, judgment, and survival. The Christ is man, wholly expressing the power, the beauty, the love, and unlimited life of the Father that lives within him. It is man realizing that he is divine and becoming that realization, transcending dogma, prophecy, and fear, for he knows that beyond social consciousness lies the unlimited vigor called God. So the Antichrist and the Christ share the same temple. And that temple is you. Everything is within you because the God that you are allows both the Antichrist and the Christ to be. It allows life and death. It allows limitation and unlimitedness. You have heard of the prophecy called Armageddon? Well, you have been living it all of this life. Armageddon is the battle between the realization of God and the recognition of the Antichrist, which is the altered ego that allows not only unlimited thoughts to enter your brain for unlimited expression, let's read this sentence again. Armageddon is the battle between the realization of God and the recognition of the Antichrist, which is the altered ego that does not allow unlimited thoughts to enter your brain for unlimited expression. It is the war between social consciousness and unlimited knowingness. That is Armageddon, not a battle outside of you, but inside. The conflict within you between the Christ arising and the altered ego staying in control. Think of a light switch. To turn the light on, you flick it up. To turn it off, you flick it down. Up would be Christ, down Antichrist. Up, unlimited God consciousness, whole brain. Down, limited social consciousness, Antichrist. The altered ego, turning the light switch off, turning your brain off, limited. That is Armageddon, not a battle outside of you, but inside. The conflict within you between the Christ arising and the altered ego staying in control. Hence the prophecy is indeed coming to pass in these times. To be God is to be unlimited knowingness, unlimited being. To be man is to be the limited creature who does not open his mind for greater knowledge, who accepts theory and does not practice living, who is the taught rather than the teacher, the protected rather than the explorer. I tell you, you have the ability to know everything there is to know, and you also possess the ability to manifest everything you ever want. You also possess the ability to live forever in your body, if that is your desire. But to all these things the altered ego says nay. So for that you will know who man is, but God will always remain a mystery. Hare Krishna, hallelujah.